Hi, everybody. It's Kimberly. I'm an eternal life student, which simply means human. At the end of the day, that really is the only title that we need. I think people are like walking books. We each have our own stories to share, and by learning from each other, we grow stronger. Today, I wanted to talk about the topic of self awareness. I think this is a very important topic, and some people get it confused sometimes. And so, hopefully, this will help answer it a little bit. To be self aware is to have the ability to tune into how you feel about your own thoughts and your own actions. Now, it sounds simple enough because it's your body, your feelings, right? But not everybody acknowledges how they feel. And that is where you hear a lot of people trying to discover who they are as a person and what triggers them and why it happens. In order to do this, you have to be self aware. So, a lot of times, people will try different techniques. You have heard that people have meditated. It's mostly to silence the noise around you so that you can listen to yourself and kind of understand why are you thinking certain things. There are people who like to journal because sometimes they don't know how to voice it. So instead, they write it down. By writing it down, they can get it out of their mind and they can look at what it is exactly they've been thinking. By doing this, they can then start to understand why they are feeling certain ways. This kind of connects to something I've talked about many a times, and that is you cannot heal another person. The choice is up to that individual. And that also involves self awareness. Just because you are aware of why someone is acting a certain way, it will not help that person because they have to understand it. And that's where it gets tricky. You may have the skills and you may have the knowledge to understand why someone is acting a certain way. So to you, you're like, come on, get out of it, snap out of it. It's just a little thing that you're going through. You should be fine. But until that person has analyzed their feelings and understand it, they will not be able to accept it. Self-awareness is learning about yourself and your feelings. Your feelings and emotions have a very big part of this. Until you can learn to control them and understand them, they will take over. You hear people go through it all the time. Some people say take a breath, breathe in and out. Other people say go for a walk, sit quietly. These are all things just to calm your mind and your emotions. Because of this, that is why you cannot fix another. They have to want it and they have to figure out what works for them in that system. You can be there as a friend and as someone for them to lean on, but you cannot fix them. It's something that they themselves have to choose. Self awareness is something that I've been talking a lot more about it with other people. And it's just because I think it's a bigger hot topic and that people have now understood that if they can learn the different things that are triggering them or why they have certain habits, they can learn how to change them and they can grow. And by doing that, they're getting stronger each step that they take. So, for example, if you know that if you're stressed, you like to eat food, but then you complain because you've gained weight. If you figure out what it is that's stressing you, and you can then figure out a different way to challenge that, or a more healthy way to channel it, But first you have to identify it and acknowledge it. There's many other different things. For example, overthinking. At night, I have a problem. Sometimes I'm thinking too much and I then don't sleep, and then I'm tired in the morning and I realize nothing has changed. All I did was waste time thinking all night, and this scenario is the same. Until you could figure out, is there a solution, or are you just doing this to yourself? You have to understand why it is that you do certain behaviors. Once you focus on that, you can then start to learn the different steps to grow out of it. But you first have to make that choice. And that's the hardest part, because you have to look at yourself and you may not like the things that you find, and you have to admit that you are flawed. The difference is this: we're human, we're supposed to be flawed. You just have to try to do better from all the lessons that you've gone through. By doing this, you truly are self-aware. Thank you. I hope this has helped a little bit. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a lovely day.